Hello to all of you. This is Dr. Dhaval Maheta, and today we are going to discuss about moderation analysis, also known as interaction effects in SmartPLS-4. Now you can see here that there are three constructs: Y1, Y2, and M. Y1 influencing Y2, and Y1 also influencing Y2 through the mediator variable M. So we consider P3 to be the direct effect, and the effect coming on Y2 through M of a Y1, that is P1 into P2, is considered to be the interaction effects. Now, this was which we had talked about, the mediation effect. The same relationship, the example which was given for this is a child wants to go on picnic, and therefore he wants to convince his father. So child approaching the father, Y2 is the father. Now, if a child feels that he will not be able to convince, he take an indirect route. Child convinces the mother. Mother tries to convince the father. Now, the same relationship can be altered. I'm using the word altered. And the same effect can be different for the younger child, and it can be different for the elder child. So when any construct or any variable alters the relationship between the model, then it is known as a moderation effects. So moderation describes a situation in which the relationship between two constructs is not constant but depends on the value of the third variable, referred to as a moderator variable. It occurs when the relationship between two variables depends upon the value of the moderator. See, Y1 can influence Y2. A younger child may be able to influence uh, his father, but the elder child may not be able to influence, or he may not be able to convince his father for going on the picnic. The moderator variable changes the strength or even the direction of the relationship between two constructs in the model. It either strengthens or weakens the relationship. For example, the prior research has shown that the relationship between customer satisfaction and the customer loyalty differs as a function of customer switching barriers. Now, what's the difference between mediation effect and a moderation effect? Mediation analysis tests a hypothetical causal chain where one variable x affects the second variable m and in turn affects y. So this is this case. The mediation is this case. Y1 affecting m affecting y2. So that is a mediation. Moderation analysis allows you to test for the influence of the third variable z on the relationship between x and y, and whether it is altering the relationship or not. Mediation never alters the relationship. Mediation never alters the relationship. Moderation always alters the relationship between the two constructs or two variables. You can see here that this independent variable is influencing the dependent variable. The mediator variable is here. So independent variable affecting the mediator variable and mediator variable influencing the dependent variable. But when we are using moderator variable, we keep the straight arrow, the vertical arrow on the relationship, as it is going to alter this relationship. Now, how to resolve that this is a mediation effect or this is a moderation effect? Now, just see the first example. Satisfaction affecting the gender, gender affecting the loyalty. Now the question is, can satisfaction alter the gender? And therefore, gender is not a mediator, it is a moderator. The impact of satisfaction on loyalty is not constant, but it depends upon respondent's gender. Say, for example, the customer satisfaction moderates the relationship between service quality and intention to use. These are the antecedent factors which are affecting the intention to use, such that higher level of customer satisfaction are associated with the high levels of service quality, are associated with the high levels of intention to use when service quality increases from low to high. Now the question arises, how to frame the hypothesis of moderation analysis. So we will write the positive effect of work from home on life satisfaction is stronger in males as compared to females, or there is a significant difference for the effect of work of effect on life satisfaction between male and female. Don't write significant difference between the gender. You can see here the conceptual model. Satisfaction is affecting the loyalty, but is the satisfaction affecting the loyalty with the same magnitude in male and female? That is what we are trying to study. So here gender is moderating, or the again I'm using the word altering the relationship. Moderating variable can be of two types. One, the continuous one. If the moderating variable is continuous, then it is also known as an interaction effects, which we are going to see in this video. If moderating variable is categorical, then we will be carrying out multi-group analysis, which we will see in our next video. Now, how to run moderating variable in SmartPLS-4? Let us see. I'll request all my viewers to kindly refer my previous video so that you can understand the flow of this entire lecture series. I'll click on HBAT, which is my file. Now here, job satisfaction of an employee is affecting the staying intention of an employee. Organizational commitment of an employee is affecting the staying intentions of an employee in the company. Environmental perception of an employee is affecting its staying intention in the company. And the co-workers, the behavior of the co-workers is affecting the staying intention of an employee. Now I want to include the co-worker as a moderating variable in this model. In the previous versions of SmartPLS, what we used to do, we used to select any endogenous variable, right click on it, and we used to add a moderating effect. But now this thing is completely absent in SmartPLS-4. So now how can I introduce? This software has been made so user friendly that to introduce any moderating effect, what you will have to do, first of all, remove this effect, the direct effect. You can reorient this and you can bring it down. Now you will have to do a very simple change here. Connect. So whenever I connect arrow to arrow, the software will clearly understand that you are now talking about moderating effect. So the co-workers, we want to see that the relationship of the environmental perception affecting the staying intention is altered by co-workers or not. A major change has happened in moderating effect menu in SmartPLS-4. As soon as you connect arrow with arrow, the software will automatically calculate its Z score, do the multiplication of the measured variable in the sense that if you recall, in product indicator approach, we used to multiply AC1 with EP1, EP2, EP3 that way. So that thing will be done directly here. So the new approach directly uses the two-stage approach. Option of product indicator and orthogonalization is not available now. It also runs a regression analysis automatically. So now we will go and calculate. Run PLS-SEM algorithm first. Make sure path coefficient is on. Start the calculations. Once you are able to get this output, the new feature which they have introduced is you can reorient the estimates if they are not visible. Now go and open the report and straightforward. First thing which you should study is simple slope analysis. Now here the blue line consists of co-workers at mean. That is the effect of moderating construct co-workers at mean. This is a blue line. The red line consists of co-workers at -1 standard deviation. And the green line consists of co-workers at +1 standard deviation. Now, what's the interpretation? Let us try to understand. When the behavior of the co-worker is 1 standard deviation less, one standard deviation less than the mean. This is the mean. The relationship between environmental perception and staying intention becomes more positive. Okay. I again repeat, when the behavior of coworker is less than one standard deviation, the relationship, you can see this red line. The relationship between environmental perception and staying intention becomes more positive. When we increase the uh, behavior of coworker by one standard deviation, then this relationship becomes less positive. Simple slope analysis is only to be done when your moderating variable or a moderating construct is continuous. Otherwise, don't do it. Now, when all these three lines are parallel to each other, there is no moderating effect. Here, the moderating effect is present, and this we can confirm by running the bootstrap. You can also see from here, is the effect significant or not? If you don't get the p-value, what you will have to do is click on path coefficients, or at present we are in PLS menu and therefore the p-values are not there. Okay. We will go in calculate and we will run the bootstrapping to get the p-value. Is the relationship significant or not? Or is the moderating effect significant or not? Make sure that you activate the bias corrected and accelerated BCA bootstrap. Start the calculation. You can see here the p-values have been, the output has been given of the p-values. So here, as it's less than 0.05, we say that moderating effect is significant. I'll go and open the reports and I'll again go in path coefficients. And let me see here the moderating effect. Yes, it is there. Co-workers into the environmental perception staying, this too, the moderating effect, also known as the interaction effects. It means that co-workers, behavior of co-workers with environmental perception is affecting the staying intention, and it is negative. And as the p-value is less than 0.05, this relationship is quite significant. This we can further confirm by confidence intervals bias corrected. This should not, this confidence interval should not consist of zero in between. If 0 is in between, it means that this relationship is insignificant. As 0 is not there, see, the range is minus to minus. It means that there is, this interval does not consist of 0. If it was minus some number to positive of some number, then the 0 would be present in this range and this relationship will become insignificant. So, this moderation effect is significant. Now, let us see that this coworker, is it altering the relationship of other path coefficients or not? So for this, I will go in the edit menu. I will activate the connect one. Now I want to see the effect of moderating effect of co-workers in moderating the relationship between organizational commitment and staying intention. The new version of SmartPLS-4 is so fast that as soon as you connect it, it will give you the output. Again, connect this also. If you feel that figures are not visible or you are not able to see the effect properly, you can reorient the things quite nicely. Now you can see here that the p-value of all this moderation effects are more than 0.05, and therefore this moderation effect is not significant. The co-workers are not significant of job satisfaction, organizational commitment, and even environmental perception, the effect has gone. So this you can further confirm by running the bootstrapping. And let's see the p-values. You will get the same p-values in the report also, path coefficient. You can see here the same p-values which were there on canvas. Now, as this relationship is not significant, this moderation effect is not significant. So the desirable output in the simple slope analysis will be all the three lines should be parallel to each other. Let us see, is it the same thing? I'll go and calculate PLSM algorithm, start the calculation. Simple slope analysis can only be done in PLS algorithm. Open the report. Now you open this menu, simple slope analysis. So it will give the moderation effect of all these three relationship. One, you can see here that there is some effect which is present of co-workers with the environmental perception, though the p-value is more than 0.05. Now what to do? I will explain. Don't worry. Here, more or less, the lines are parallel. Okay. Here, it's moderate. Now here, there is a major fluctuation in the p-value and the simple slope analysis. Now, what is the interpretation? The interpretation goes again this way, that when the behavior of coworker changes by -1 standard deviation, the relationship between environmental perception and staying intention becomes more positive, the red line. And when it increases by +1 standard deviation, the relationship decreases. Okay. Now, according to the authors, whenever there is a conflict between the slope and the p-value, you should rely more on slope analysis in comparison to p-value. Now, as these relationships are not significant, what we will do? We will disconnect this. Done. And we will keep the original effect only, which was there, -0.104. I'll go and open the report. I'll go in path coefficients. Or rather, let me run the bootstrapping only. That is much better to get the p-values also. Open the report, path coefficients. You will have to see these two values, 1 and 2. They are significant, which we had seen earlier. Now, how to write the interpretation? So, simple slope analysis gives a conditional, that is a simple effect of exogenous at the various levels of the moderator. Now, moderation effect is always tested on ±1 sigma, and we want to see that is moderation effect present even if we give one +1 standard deviation shock to the mean or -1 standard deviation to the mean. Now, in our case, as it was significant, so how we will write moderation effect is here. I'll have to make a small change. Moderation effect is significant. In case if it was significant, 1 standard deviation increase in co-workers would cause how much change? The change is plus 0.303 plus minus 0.102. Now this figure will change every time when we run this algorithm, and we will have to pick up this figure after running the bootstrapping. Now let me see what the new figure has, the output has been given. The new figure is 0.288 and minus 0.104. Okay, so let us go there. 0.288. So this was the direct effect and this was 0.104. So this is plus 0.288 plus minus 0.104. This is minus. So I am giving the shock of +1 standard deviation. This is +1 standard deviation. Now what will happen when I will give a shock of -1 standard deviation? Again, 0.288 minus 0.102. So this is the output which we got. So this negative sign is because of the output. This negative sign is because of the output which we got. and this plus sign is for plus 1 standard deviation and this is for minus 1 standard deviation. Okay, so here also we will keep this significant only because we got the p-value less than 0.05. So in last, we will write as the p-value is significant, we can say that the co-workers positively moderates the relationship between environmental perception and staying intention. Now here, it can be positive also and it can be negative also. But how you will write the interpretation, these are the words which you should remember. For more videos on Smart PLS, kindly refer to my playlist in which I have already uploaded many videos which are related to Smart PLS. You can subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to press the like button. You can also follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter.